Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
It's construction season and there are plenty of projects underway. One that's catching the attention of several people is the construction throughout Horace.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly rode along with the instructed detour route to experience it firsthand, but also to find out just how much it's costing drivers.
Driving into the city of Horace, you are suddenly cut off as road closed signs sit in the middle of the busy road. There's some major work being done in the city, and people say it's really impacting their driving.
With multiple routes being closed right now, you have to find an alternate way, and then all those spots are being congested right now as well. So it's really made it tough to get around, and takes a lot longer to get places that you need to be.
Sam Sledda says at certain times of the day, a typical 5 to 10 minute drive changes drastically.
Depending on where you're going, it could take up to 45 minutes. I mean, if you're going through at the right time of the day, you know, right when people are going to work, or if it's right when people are off work, it can get those spots congested.
These detours are taking more than just your time. It's costing you money. I went along the instructed route to avoid the construction, driving our Valley News Live SUV from Sledda's neighborhood north of construction into Horace. It was roughly a 5-mile ride. We did some quick calculations. Construction is expected to last for 6 months, so 183 days of driving into town and back each day, adding up to about 1,000 extra miles. Factoring in the cost of gas, $2.59 a gallon for unleaded, and the miles per gallon, with a vehicle like ours, you could spend over $100 in that time frame on top of the gas you typically buy. So the next time you grab your keys, you may also want to grab a calculator to find out exactly how much money you're pouring into your car. In Horace, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
The calculations made from today did not take into account for changes in traffic or weather conditions.
Gravel road detours are challenging enough, but Horace residents say if you add mud to the mix, traveling safely becomes nearly impossible. Over the weekend, one driver got stuck on the gravel road thanks to deep ruts and muddy conditions. Neighbors say with more rain on the way, they worry about deteriorating conditions. Leaders for the construction project in that area say they watch the roads every day and plan to fix problems as they come up, but say reshaping the road to fill in mud puddles will lead to other setbacks for drivers.
It's a balance on the gravel road with the detour of trying to keep the dust control product that we put on there to make it safer from a dust standpoint, but then the more the contractor gets out and reshapes it, you lose some of that dust control capability.
Project leaders say if residents want to call or send in pictures or videos of problem areas on the road, they're happy to hear the feedback. For more information on how to do that, visit our website, valleynewslive.com.
Some drivers are being inconvenienced when they pull into a local convenience store for a certain type of gas. The Holiday Station, just off I-94 along 35th Street South in Moorhead, has suspended sales of 87 octane unleaded gasoline. An employee told us that they suspect some water may have gotten into the tank. They're not sure when the matter will be cleared up, but they are still selling 89 octane, premium, and diesel fuel.
A Bismarck woman faces a felony child abuse charge after police say she threw hot water on a girl after an argument. 45-year-old Wendy Ward of Bismarck was arrested after the child was taken to the hospital with first-degree burns. Ward admitted she got a pot with hot and cold water mixed and threw it at the child. She says she didn't think the water was that hot. If convicted, Ward faces a maximum of 5 years in prison.
The Grand Forks Police Department is asking for your help in finding a missing 16-year-old boy. Police say Taj Hampton left the custody of his guardian April 26th. He's 16 years old. He has blonde hair and hazel eyes. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 145 pounds. Police say that Taj is believed to be in the Grand Forks area. If you've seen or have information about his whereabouts, you're asked to contact Grand Forks Police at the phone number on your screen. 701-787-8000.
Voters may get another chance to legalize marijuana in North Dakota. A proposed petition submitted to the Secretary of State's office today calls for residents to legally grow and use any form of marijuana. It also directs lawmakers to establish a regulatory system for its sale. The petition will need nearly 27,000 signatures to be placed on the ballot.
Posts and tweets like this one hit news feeds around the valley over the weekend, claiming King House Buffet in downtown Fargo was no longer open because live chickens were found in the restaurant's basement. We did some checking and found that on May 8th, Fargo Cass Public Health found live pigeons, not chickens, downstairs. The buffet chose to temporarily close on May 9th during lunchtime to fix other issues officials found and have been open since. King House Buffet's owners tell Valley News Live that since Friday, they've taken over 15 calls from pranksters asking if they can buy dog or rat meat from the buffet's basement. The buffet has kept a tally of 4 phone numbers behind the calls, and they've told Fargo police about them as well.
Kids are facing pressures like never before, and it is taking a serious toll.
According to a new study, youth suicide rates are on the rise in the United States. Reporter Gordon Severson explains what's likely to be the cause of the increase.
As young as, 10 years old, and that's a scary thought.
For Brainerd native Eric Hopajoki, the issue of teen suicide is more than just a scary thought. It's real.
We had known he'd been struggling, with some depression.
Last year, his 16-year-old son Jake took his own life, a hurt he still feels to this day.
How often do you think about Jake?
Probably 10 times an hour.
But even he was surprised to hear kids much younger than Jake are dealing with the same problems he was.
This is real. This isn't just, hey, buck up, buttercup, the way it would have been years ago. This is a serious deal.
A new study published in the Journal of Pediatrics shows over the last 20 years, 1.6 million kids aged 10 to 24 called poison control centers after attempting suicide, using prescription pills, street drugs, and other household poisons to take their own lives. The first 10 years, 2000 to 2010, suicide attempts were relatively flat according to the study, but in 2011, they went up in every age group, especially in girls aged 10 to 12, with a frightening 338% increase in attempted suicide.
The rate at which it is increasing in the younger ages is very concerning.
Dr. Mark Lynn is a child psychologist with Hennepin Healthcare. He has a few theories as to why rates went up starting in 2011.
That's around the time that smartphone prevalence raised, social media raised. It's around the time of, awareness of the opioid crisis.
Lynn says the amount of time kids spend with each other has also never been higher thanks to new technology, putting more pressure on them to fit in and more opportunities to be bullied and gossiped about.
The emotions they feel, their brains are wired to feel them more strongly. Then when the pain hits, the pain can be that much more strong.
Lynn says now more than ever, it's important for parents to talk to their kids about their feelings.
Hopajoki is encouraging with Smiles for Jake, a movement that he and his family started to encourage teenagers and their parents to start talking openly about suicide and depression.
A popular counseling center in Fargo opened its doors at a new location today. The Village Family Service Center at the 2000 block of 12th Avenue South in Fargo says they're seeing patients by appointment between 100 and 200 people a day. They say the most common mental health problems seen by their staff are depression, anxiety, and relationship struggles. The nonprofit says they're trying to break the stigma around mental health.
I think our community is doing a wonderful job of recognizing that mental health is a concern. The brain is an organ. It's a part of the physical body, and it needs treatment and help, just like any other part of the body.
They say that if you or someone you know needs treatment, give their office a call.
A major package of protections for Minnesota's elderly has cleared the legislature and awaits Governor Tim Walz's signature. The most important component is a framework for licensing assisted living facilities that contains expanded enforcement powers. Minnesota is the last remaining state that doesn't require licensing them. The bill also has other safeguards to protect older and vulnerable adults, including the right for assisted living residents and their families to install hidden monitoring cameras for 2 weeks before being required to notify the facilities.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, here's what we're looking at across our nation. Big time pool of cold air in the Rocky Mountains with temperatures near freezing in Denver. We warm that up to 80 degrees right now in Frisco, and along that boundary between the warm and cold air, very active weather taking place. We're not too bad sitting here at 55 still at this hour. Look at the snow flying in the mountains of Colorado, including Denver down towards Cheyenne. Also, the Black Hills seeing some flaky weather. Severe weather down in the southern plains tonight with active tornado warnings, thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings continuing for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, with very heavy rain stretching all the way to the north through Missouri and into southern portions of Iowa tonight. There is a high risk for strong tornadoes in the area you see circled here in pink. Surround that by the red circle, and that's a moderate risk for pretty strong tornadoes as well. So an active night of weather has been ongoing down in the southern plains tonight. That continues for us. That's about the most action we saw. A beautiful sunset mingling with those high clouds that are being thrown our way from the storm system well to our south. Well, currently things are quiet and we have 55 on the thermometer. Calm winds, the air over us pretty dry with dew points in the 30s. That targets that relative humidity at about 51% this hour. The mildest temperatures are right here where you see the yellows in the Red River Valley. That's surrounded by a lot of 50s, low 50s for Bemidji, Jamestown, and Devil's Lake at this hour. 57 though in Grand Forks. Here's a closer look at what's going on down in South Dakota. A lot of rain in the elevated terrain of the western part of the state. That changes to snow in the mountains near the Black Hills. For us, we're seeing some clouds working their way into our southern counties, and that's what we saw in our time lapse there moments ago. So overnight, the clouds will continue to kind of swirl their way northward as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures are going to dip down to near 40, maybe 45 degrees. And that's how we get started. So much milder than this morning, where we had a low of 32 in Fargo. Now, as we go through the midday hours, our southern counties see all these blue arrows here. Strong east winds beginning to develop with gusts 15 to 25 miles per hour by your lunch hour. Up north, you'll have more abundant sunshine, and temperatures there will respond with a shot at a 70-degree reading or two up north. By the late afternoon, we'll really start to see the clouds pushing in and the wind gets even stronger. So afternoon and evening winds between 25 and 40 miles per hour. But the rain holds off for any of your early evening plans. Then as we go toward the late evening, we'll start to see that rain slowly progressing northward. I think it stays south of us until the overnight hours here in Fargo, Moorhead, and certainly in Grand Forks. More on that rain for Wednesday, but for your day on Tuesday, we start out very close to 40. Wind will be light in the morning, but it picks up by the midday hours, gusting over 20 miles per hour, and in the afternoon, I believe, over 30 miles per hour here in Fargo, with the temperature once again in the mid to upper 60s here. Close to 70 again in Grand Forks, 66 in Thief River. 59, though, down to the south and southeast, we'll see 50s as well. More clouds, and the showers will keep you cooler. Here's a look at the Tuesday night, Wednesday forecast. That rain basically pushes northward as we go toward the overnight hours. Really heavy pockets of rain working their way northward as we go into Wednesday morning. Then all day Wednesday, we're going to have periods of moderate rain, maybe even briefly heavy rain. And the rainfall amounts will be a little lower in our far northern communities because you won't get rain for as long. So generally from Grand Forks down towards Fargo, a good chance of 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. Anywhere you see the dark greens here, a shot or good shot at seeing closer to 1 inch of rainfall on your Wednesday forecast by Thursday morning. Fergus Falls had a gorgeous sunset the other night. Ken, thanks for taking the time to upload your photo. Here's a look at the planning forecast. A wet Wednesday and very cool and still breezy after a gusty Tuesday. A break from all that crazy weather on Thursday with 66 degrees. Rain again on Friday. Then for the weekend, Saturday looks like the pick day of the 2 days. Right now, that weekend forecast for Sunday and into Monday, a little bit, uncertain because the models are changing their mind every time.
All right. Works for us.
As long as the models work in our favor.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we'll see
always.
what we can do. All right.
Thanks, Hutch.
They left early yesterday morning and had very little downtime. The veterans honored on this most recent honor flight to Washington, D.C. are back home.
They arrived a little over an hour ago after seeing monuments, memorials, and much more. These tribute trips are free to the veterans and paid for with fundraisers and donations. The vets represent soldiers from World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and Middle East conflicts. The experience is one to be remembered, and those we spoke to are grateful for the chance to go.
There'd be such a group coming out to welcome us home. Super. the vets just appreciate so much. My dad's a 20-year vet from the Navy, and he cried when we got to Washington, D.C., and he's crying right now. He's just so happy. And
Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer went along with the veterans, and we'll have more on the trip in the days to come. For more on the Veterans Honor Flight, just go to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story.
I've made